All right, party people, so hands down, I'm not even gonna blow any smoke up your butt. This has to be the best P320 mod. That's like less than 50 bucks. Before we get started, I wanted to reply to you guys because a lot of people have been emailing me and writing comments being like, bro, where you been? Where you been? I haven't posted anything on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube in about a month. And the reason for that is I wanted a vacation. I don't think I've had a vacation since like 2011. And so I just took some time off and it was amazing. But don't worry, I'm back now. So P320s have always been a gun that it's always been a good gun, but in my hands, I just never really cared for it. You know, I started out shooting the standard P320 that had the standard grip module. The other thing I never liked about P320s was how high the bore axis is. When the bore axis is super high, it kind of aids in more muzzle flip. You know, and compared to my Glocks or my MMPs, it just, in my opinion at the time, just didn't compare. You know, fast forward a couple of years later, they came out with their X-Carry grips, and this one is the X-Carry grip I have. This one was a lot better than the standard P320 grip, and you know, it did have a lot of improvement, but it still wasn't enough to make me be like, yeah, I like the P320. You know, and then I built the Legion. I got the Legion frame, and this frame definitely changed my world a little bit. I love it to death. It shoots really nicely. But then I got the P320 from Polymer 80, and this one, for the money, runs really closely to this one, even though it's not weighted. So this is the Polymer 80 P320 frame, and I have it with my Legion slide on it, and it is in gray. And this to me has to be one of the best upgrades you could do for a P320, you know, for one really big reason. It grips way better than all the other frames that are available for the P320. And when it comes to mitigating recoil, getting follow-up shots, shooting faster, shooting more accurately, having the proper grip is like 90% of the battle. That's basically it. Like accuracy, speed, everything. It's almost like they took the Polymer 80 Glock 17 grip and put it onto a P320 frame, and it feels absolutely stunning. They're only like 49 bucks. That blows my mind. I mean, every other frame that I've ever tried for any other gun has never cost 50 bucks. So what we really need to find out today is, number one, is it worth a crap? I mean, sometimes when price is too low and it seems too good to be true, sometimes things just don't work the way they should. And number two, we're gonna be comparing the recoil impulse with this and comparing it to my Legion frame. So before we dive up close, take a look at it and then we'll go over to shooting footage. If this is something that you wanna pick up for yourself, I will throw a link in the video description. It'll be the very first link. That'll redirect you to another page where you can find all the product links. The first link in the description for that. Now we got all that out of the way. Let's dive up close, take a look at this guy, see what we think about it. Then we're gonna go over to shooting footage and compare it to the Legion frame and see how effective this Legion is at mitigating recoil versus the Polymer 80. All right, guys, so I got a couple of these laid out here. I figured we'd look at them up close and stuff like that. And I also was gonna explain this little slide here to you because I already know a bunch of people are gonna ask about it. So if we take things way back, this is the very first P320 grip. You know, it's kind of strange in the way it worked. You know, it's got this, you know, had this weird little cutout right here, and the magazine kind of filled that up. But to me, it just never quite felt right. And usually when you buy a P320, you get it with the medium-sized grip, and then you could go out and you could spend, I think it was around $80 or $90. You could get the large or the small, and you could get different colors. But for me, this one just never worked out. This one is a very similar grip to this one. This one's called the Merzon grip. And I don't remember how much these are. They're a little over $100. And it adds this rubberized texturing to it. And you know, has a little bit of a ribbed under here. You got a place for a light, and had a little bit of texturing here, but it doesn't really do anything. It just kind of looks pretty. This one's not bad. It was about a notch above that one. And then we had the X-Carry grip right here. And you know, again, I like this one a lot. I was able to get a way better grip on it whenever I present, and I could mitigate recoil a lot better, but it wasn't enough to make me love the P320. You know, and then a couple of months ago, we built an 80% Legion, and I'll show it to you right now. So this is the 80% P320 module. I have the Apex trigger bar in it. Then I have the Legion flat face trigger. I love this setup to death. This little guy can be a little bit cumbersome when installing parts, but thankfully I have walkthroughs for everything. And so I will put a link in the description where you can see those walkthroughs, because YouTube doesn't allow us to put those walkthroughs on YouTube anymore. And so when I originally built this guy, I built it with this fella right here. This is a Norso slide. And then I got the primary machine proprietary barrel and compensator combo. Say that 5 times fast. They were able to measure out their compensators, and essentially when you put it, I'm also running, I forgot the name of this guide rod, but I'll have a link to it in the build list. But basically this guide rod reduces recoil, comes with different springs, all that stuff, yada yada. So what Primary Machine did was they figured out a way to measure out these compensators and make them so that they will be just as flush as if you were running this slide here. And they have them for all the different sizes. So if you look at the Legion slide, it's exactly the same length as this Norso slide with the compensator on it. And I thought that was pretty cool. I love this little setup right here. I did a full build on it. Man, that is nice. But enough of all that. Let's talk about today's star, the Polymer 80 P320. Finally, I can't believe it took them this long to come out with this. This would have probably been the easiest frame for them to come out with, even before they came out with the Glocks. The reason it's so affordable is because it's not 80%. Because the fire control module is what's serialized on these guys, the frame isn't serialized. And so you don't got to worry about, 80%ing it. You could just make it as a frame. So like I said, I'm surprised they never made these before, but they're here now. Here's what I found very fascinating. This is a Glock 17 Polymer 80. This is the P320. If you look at their grip, they're virtually identical in width and height, and they're virtually identical in their length right here. You can get a little bit of a higher grip on the Glock 17 versus the P320, but the grip size is identical. The only difference I've seen is the mag well, this little hole in the back of the back of the grip right here. This one's a little bit different. Now, I haven't tested this yet because I haven't taken mine out, but you can see down inside of here, that little slot right there, well, there's a weight that you can buy and it'll fit down in here. Interestingly, they have a slot here, but I don't know if that weight will actually fit or not. So I haven't taken it out. It's a pain in the butt to take out, so I'm not going to, but I might order a weight just to see, but I don't see it fitting just because over here, it's angled a different way. Even this Merzon grip here, it has the correct shape for this slot. So, I mean, it's not the biggest con in the world, but it does kind of suck that you can't put a weight in the back of it if you wanted to. Now, it does come with this magazine release already installed. You don't even have to install it. It kind of looks like that because that's the correct size. So it is like the compact size. Looks really good in my opinion. So I will have a link to Norso as well. I'll also include links to Holo Suns and this barrel and this grip and trigger and all that cool stuff if that's something you're into. But let's jump up top real quick and we're going to compare the recoil differences between this grip and this grip. And we're going to do it with this slide as well as this slide in all the different variations. Back up top. All right, cool guys. So that's what it looks like. Whatever. It's a frame. It's P320 frame from Polymer 80. I think it looks sexy in regards to other P320 frames. I think it's the sexiest. You can get these in black, flat dark earth, OD green, but I think it looks the sexiest in this gray color right here. I don't know, that's just me. I have a thing for gray. But let's quit wasting time. Let's see how it actually compares with the slow motion footage, shooting this against the Legion frame. And let's see if we can see a difference in the recoil or not. So first up, we're gonna be doing the P320 frame with this compensated slide right here. So there's that one. Next up is the Legion slide with the same compensated slide. Now we're gonna do the P320 polymer 80 frame with the Legion slide. And now we're just gonna do the Legion as is with the Legion slide. So what did you guys think? You know, personally, this is what I can feel. In the hand, it feels like this one has less felt recoil. But looking at the footage, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like this one was less bouncy. And I think it's because you could just really hang on to this thing because this really texturized grip right here makes all the difference in the world. Knowing what I know now, would I buy this with my own money? Yes, I would. It's so affordable that even if you didn't like it, it's not like you spent over $100 or like $49. But I don't think anyone would be disappointed in this. I really don't. It has the same grip as the Polymer 80, which everyone that shoots Glocks that hates the Glock hump gets the Polymer 80 frames and they don't have the Glock hump anymore. It has the double undercutted trigger guard, and I really like how they texturized it right here. Like I said earlier, I just think you get a whole lot for $49.99. In addition, it comes with the mag release already installed. All you gotta do is take your module out and put it in there. And so because of that, I think it's good to go. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below, guys. Until next time, guys, I love you. You guys stay sexy.